Now, to be perfectly honest, I was always angry and frustrated. I got into alcohol and drugs early in my teenage years. My parents got divorced. My brother was off in college. I was home alone, and I liked a girl since I was in 7th grade till I was a senior in high school. She was one of my best friends, but she never liked me back. And I was just kind of like always angry at the world, and then I didn't think any of it was my fault. So the idea of my thoughts controlling my reality was as asinine and ridiculous as magic and pixie dust. If you would have told me to just say some affirmations and then my life would get better, I could make more money, I could be happier, I would create my reality, I would probably just make a mean joke to you and then I would probably just ignore you. So when I was 21 years old and I had started my own business without any success, trying to use money affirmations to change my financial situation was like trying to walk for the first time. I didn't believe that it was actually going to work. But I followed a very simple 3-step money affirmation process, and I went from making under $20,000 a year to making $20,000 a month by the time I was 22 years old. By the time I was 25 years old, I was making $1 million a year without a college degree. And my life just changed drastically. And it happened very, very quickly. My mom didn't even believe it. She's like, "Are you like gambling? Or are you like doing something illegal? Like what's going on, Jake? Like how did all..." Right? So I just wanted to tell you my story briefly to summarize big idea number 1. Money affirmations work even if you don't think they will work. Now, before I give you a few money affirmations that you can use and then a very unique technique that makes them work a lot faster, let's just touch on why money affirmations do work. They're not new age, they're not magic, they really are not delusional either. Psychology and neuroscience experts have proven the science behind affirmations in hundreds and hundreds of published medical studies. We've talked a lot about them on this channel, right? So you can pretend they aren't real, but that doesn't negate the science. Like, for example, there's a neuroscience study where they tested if your brain will believe things that are only happening in your imagination. So to test this, they measured the electromagnetic activity of the brain in specific regions, and they wanted to see if they would form new neural connections, like if brain cells would create new neural patterns just by imagining something. Like, for example, like if you were to imagine more money when you're broke. So they took 3 groups of people, and then in one group, they taught them a specific piano sequence, and they had them physically practice it every day. Then the second group, they taught them the same piano sequence, but they were not allowed to physically practice it. They were just doing it in their mind, spending a few minutes daily visualizing playing this sequence. And then the third group was the control group. So they did nothing so they could see what worked and what didn't. Well, guess what happened? The group that only imagined playing the piano was firing the same motor activity regions of the brain as the people who were physically playing the piano, even down to where their fingers were moving in the areas associated with the brain. So they could see on the fMRI scans that the same activities of the brain were firing in the people that played and the people that just imagined the finger movements, right? It's pretty trippy if you think about it. And there's hundreds of studies like this. I could cite one after another, and I've probably cited 50, 60 of them in different videos. So what's the point? There's irrefutable science that your brain can be trained to believe imagined things. And when you use something like money affirmations correctly, you can actually activate the same regions of your brain as if you were actually rich, the same way the study showed. And if you were actually rich and you were looking at a bunch of money in your bank account or in your wallet, or you're depositing a huge check at your bank, you activate very specific areas of your brain, right? And having a lot of money would be your neurological reality. Now, on the contrary, if you're broke, you're not where you want to be financially. There's also a memorized pattern in your brain. And so to get rich and start attracting a lot of money, you have to teach your brain the neurological patterns of wealth. So this is what we're going to do in quick and easy steps. That's what changed my life, And that's what I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Now, before I give you the money affirmation process, if you follow me and this is like making sense to you, just do me a favor, hit the like button on this video. Let me know in the comments right there down below. Be sure to subscribe, bell notification, and I have a free financial success hypnosis. This is one of the things that really help these things become a habit, right? It's one thing to say affirmations, but it's kind of the same thing as walking, like you kind of forget it. So it's important to get to the subconscious and have some type of tool, just like when you're learning how to ride a bike and you have training wheels, so they get into your subconscious faster. That's what hypnosis does. So it's free. You can get it at jakeshypnosis.com. It's pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. Now, the first step in this process is to give your unconscious mind a new instruction manual. So if you're not achieving all your financial goals, it's partly because your unconscious mind is creating your reality from an old financial instruction manual. And this is one that you learn from your parents, from your childhood, and the world around you. And it's keeping you at your current financial income level. So the first thing that I did was begin to listen to this daily success hypnosis MP3. So if you're like me, right, then you don't remember all the affirmations, right? And you get sidetracked, like I said. And this is why it's so important to start to actually do this, because you're giving yourself a new instruction manual. Another thing that you can do is do hypnotic writing, where you write about your financial future in the present tense over and over and over again. And this starts to create a new autopilot in your subconscious. Now, the second step is to pick one specific money affirmation that you can commit to memory. So this is a few that you can actually start to use. You can adopt one, or you can tweak it the way that you want. You can let me know in the comments which one speaks to you the most and kind of speak it into existence by dropping it in the comments. So one is, I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That one is from Bob Proctor. Now, number two, this was my first one. Large sums of money come to me quick and easy. Large sums of money come to me quick and easy. I created that because it's short and rhythmic. It's easy to remember. Number three, I love money because it comes to me when I call. Number four, wealth flows to me in avalanches of abundance. Number five, I am getting rich. I am making others rich. Now, one of these might speak to you more than the other, right? So I want you to pick one of them, or you can adopt it the way that it's best suited to you, that you feel the most energy behind it. Then, with the third and final step, write it on an index card and then carry it with you until you have it memorized. Write it 10 times a day in your journal. The reason that you want to immediately write it on an index card is because every time you're holding that card, even if you're not consciously thinking about it, you are activating new cells in your brain. Your brain is unconsciously firing in those regions, just like the piano study, as if you already have that money. And the reason that you want to write it 10 times a day into your journal is because repetition is how you build new habits. And when you write this 10 times a day, you're subconsciously starting to build a new financial paradigm and replace the old affirmations. Because we all have affirmations. Some people are like, I don't use affirmations. Well, we all are. Saying, I am broke is an affirmation. Saying, I can't make more money, it's too hard, these are affirmations. It's just a matter of, are you using them consciously or unconsciously in alignment with your financial goals or not in alignment with your financial goals? When you do this for just 21 days, for 5 to 10 minutes a day, you will start to see your financial life change. One of my friends, he's actually my video guy sitting behind the camera. He came one day and he was like all distraught, and he just had his wife just had a new child, and he was just kind of overwhelmed, and his income had went backwards, and now he had more responsibilities because he has a kid and all of these things. And we were talking like this, and he comes back a couple days later and his income doubled in like a couple days out of nowhere. That's how quickly things can shift. So make sure you get my free success hypnosis. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. It's totally free. It's jakeshypnosis.com. Just listen to it for a couple minutes every single day. Pick one of these affirmations. You can get the hypnosis right there down below. If you enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like, subscribe, bell notification, and you can click right here to watch another.